Live from the Business RadioX studio inside Renaissance Bank, the bank that specializes in understanding you. It's time for North Fulton Business Radio.
And hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of North Fulton Business Radio. I'm John Ray, and folks, we are broadcasting, as we usually are, from inside Renaissance Bank in beautiful Alpharetta. And if you are looking for a bank that's big enough to handle pretty much any need you can throw at them, but small enough to do it in a personal way, I recommend Renaissance Bank. I recommend them because I use them, but also because a whole lot of others do too, and actually have attested to that fact by a recent survey results that were released in Forbes magazine, where Renaissance was ranked one of the best banks, not just in Georgia, but in the United States. So if you're interested in a bank like that does good work and gets recognized for it, and particularly for your small business, go check them out. RenaissanceBank.com. I think you'll be glad you did. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, member FDIC. And now I want to welcome Felix Soto and Mariana Gattegno. Felix?
Yeah, hello, John. Good morning.
Mariana, welcome. And I need to say where you're from, right? That would help. You're from Wellstar North Fulton Medical Center. Great to have both of you.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Yeah, great to have both of you. Let's talk a little bit about, we all know Wellstar North Fulton and the great work you do there. Let's talk about each of your roles there and what you do. Felix, maybe you can start.
Sure. Why not? I'm the Vice President of Finance and the Chief Financial Officer at Wellstar North Fulton Hospital. Awesome.
Mariana.
And I am the Director of Quality and Patient Safety at the hospital as well. I've been there for about a year.
Okay, terrific. So let's talk about what's involved with each of your jobs, because we're actually here to celebrate a big award that the two of you were very instrumental in the hospital receiving, and we'll get to that in a second. But Felix, let's start with you. I mean, what's it like being the CFO of a thriving North Fulton Hospital?
Sure, yeah. Well, it's a very exciting role. I get the opportunity to work with very good clinicians and get involved in deployment of strategic initiatives and trying to grow the hospital and expand the services. And at the same time, trying to make sure that those services generate some margin so we can reinvest in our community and in our hospital. I get involved in multiple things, different projects from construction to budget to financial planning, and but it's an exciting really role for me, and I love what I do. I've been there for about 7 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and speaking of construction, lots of that going on right now, right?
Yes, at the moment we have some construction going on. We are expanding our oncology services and radiation therapy, more specifically, and we are working on a project to build a cyber knife in the hospital. So that's a big project for us, and we're excited about that.
Yeah. We just had a show on that, so that was pretty cool to look to. Yeah, we just had a show about that, and that was pretty interesting. Mariana, talk about your role.
Sure. So I oversee all things quality and performance improvement, as well as patient safety, infection prevention, accreditation, which helps keep our doors open with the Joint Commission, among other things. So really anything quality focused and performance excellence focused at the hospital.
Wow. And that's pretty crucial because that's really what patients are looking for, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Our number one goal is to keep patients and staff safe.
Right. You must have had a quite challenging role during the pandemic.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you've been there a year, but still that covered, I guess, not the beginning of the pandemic, but certainly a big part of it.
Yes, I've been in healthcare for quite some time. And so the pandemic was particularly challenging for, I think, all of those in healthcare and other realms as well. But particularly for the hospital systems, there were, a lot of patients. It was a very difficult time where we didn't really know exactly what was coming, and we had to adapt very quickly and ensure the hospital was agile. North Fulton has done an excellent job at that, and I'm very glad to be there, even during the pandemic and post-pandemic now.
That's terrific. So Wellstar North Fulton has been named a winner of the Georgia Oglethorpe Award. Let's tell everyone what that's all about, Felix.
That's correct. Yeah. So the Georgia Oglethorpe Award is an award that is given to organizations that achieve great results and have good processes and in performance excellence, and they achieve performance excellence. So these are role model organizations. Is a very detailed process as far as reviewing how the organization performed their work, and we get independent examiners come to the hospital. They interview team members, they review our processes, they see our results, and they make a judgment on that, make a recommendation. And we were very happy to receive the award. It's a testament of our good processes and our good results.
So is this just for hospitals, the hospital sector, or is it a wider pool of potential applicants?
It is a wider pool. Okay. This is an award where public, non-public, any type of organization can apply for it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So in other words, you had a lot of competition for this award then.
Yeah, we did. And we were very, very glad to receive it. Yeah, for sure.
So let's talk about, and Mariana, maybe you can get into this, talk a little bit about what's the whole process look like? And why, and maybe as a follow on, why was it so important to you as an organization, Wellstar North Fulton, to be part of this process that you went through? This had to be pretty grueling, I would think, to get to win this award.
Yes, it's quite an extensive process, but our core competencies at Wellstar North Fulton are safety first and quality excellence. And so winning this award really reflects that, and it shows our community how we have safety at the forefront of everything we do. The application process is quite extensive. It requires a 50-page application. It's got 7 categories that range from leadership to customers to workforce, and really details all of the pieces of our hospital workflows. And then we also present the organization with results so that they can see that the processes we have in place are yielding results that make the patients and staff have a safer experience at our facility. So it took many years, much before I joined North Fulton.
Really?
The team had been working, for quite some time. And then during the application process this past year, we spent close to 200 hours developing the application, weekends, nights. We met twice a week with our core team. And then, of course, ensuring that our leadership team was also involved in participating in the application process. And not only that, once the application was complete and submitted, we were then subjected to a site visit, which was a few days of interviews and in-depth analysis of our processes so that the Georgia Oglethorpe and Sterling Council could ensure that we had been as successful as we were stating in our application. So it's quite intense, but definitely worth it to see on the other side us being recognized for our excellent care.
Yeah. So it's real, but I'm sure patients that are listening and folks that have visited North Fulton as a consumer think of this as patient, but it's really more than just patient experience. It's the processes that go behind everything that you do, right, Felix?
That is correct. So this is beyond that. This is operations is involved, how we engage our workforce, how we set up our strategic planning, how we deploy the strategic planning, how we achieve results. So it's a very comprehensive review. So from a consumer point of view, this gives you the reassurance that you have a hospital that has a high standard of care and that achieve great results. So when you're a patient, you're trying to make a selection of where do I want to go. At times we just look in a specific score, like a patient experience, but this is more comprehensive. This is an entire organization delivering a high result, as far as performance.
Sure.
And I will mention that out of 230 hospitals in Georgia, Wellstar North Fulton was one of 2 that received the award this year. So it is very prestigious.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's terrific. Yeah, and I think, again, back to the patient, the patient sees the doctor right in front of them, the nurse right in front of them, and maybe takes for granted the foundation that underlies their work, right? But there's a whole lot behind that doctor, that caregiver, right?
That is correct, because all these delivery of care has a process and a thought behind it. From the moment that you admit the patient, the moment that you provide the care, the moment that you discharge, the moment how you engage that patient after. So all that requires a standardized process. It has to be systematic, deployed through the entire organization. And the whole idea is that you have a consistency in the approach, that you can continually review it in order to improve it, and that you have outstanding results. So that's what we're trying to do here.
Something tells me that was a big part of this award. You mentioned the word consistency, and that's what having a process is all about, is to deliver consistency, right? So, and that's why I would imagine, but this is a question. That's why I would imagine their process in terms of how that 50-page application and then interviewing afterward just was to make sure your process was what it says it is, and there are no holes in that or what have you, right? I mean, they really put you under the spotlight, as it were, right?
That is correct. And so they do validations. The examiners, when they come on board and they do the site visit specifically, they do validation of the application. They interview team members, they interview leadership, and they're trying to understand the process. Is it really working as designed? But more importantly, to evaluate that consistency, they review your results. And when they look at the results, they look at 3 years back. They do a look back of 3 years and trying to see the trend on those results. Are you going in a positive trend? Are you being consistent, on your improvements? And that has an enormous weight on getting the award. Most of the points to achieve an award are based on the results. Many organizations have, when doing about business, they do a lot of thinking on the process development, and they have good processes, and they believe they have good processes. But if the processes don't yield results that are expected, then there is no correlation. The process is not working as designed. So the Sterling, the Georgia Oglethorpe Award, reviews the entire cycle from the development of the process until the end result.
Folks, we're chatting with Felix Soto and Mariana Gattegno. I'll get that right. And they are with Wellstar North Fulton, and we're here celebrating their recent the award they were conferred, the Georgia Oglethorpe Award. So if they're looking back 3 years on this award, I mean, obviously that covers the pandemic. That's a pretty hair-raising time, I guess, to have everything opened up for someone to be taking a look at. So you must be particularly proud of winning the award during what must have been an awfully chaotic time for you.
Yeah, that's true. Mariana, you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that winning the award at this time really is a testament to those processes that Felix was mentioning, that when you have a good process in place, as things change, as the environment changes, you're able to maintain what we call standard work and continue to deliver excellent results to both patients and staff. And it's really a testament to all of the really hard work that occurred not only in the last couple of years with the pandemic, but even prior, that foundation that really set us up to be at a place where we're being recognized for our performance excellence.
Yeah. And in addition to that, they acknowledge the COVID pandemic was an aberration, but at the same time, they were expecting to see agility from the business. How did you respond? What did you do different? And you process as you design it to deliver whatever process or product you're trying to deliver has to incorporate a component to adjust rapidly. And in our processes, we have that ability, and that comes from our leaders. Comes from leadership, and also comes from the muscle that the Wellstar Health System has to provide the resources that we need to pivot at time of need.
Yeah, I'm interested in either or both of you giving some advice to business owners out there that maybe they have a process, but how do you stay agile, right? Because it's easy to get locked into, we've always done it this way, right? How do you keep agile?
Right. So different ways to do it. One is always looking at what's happening in the environment externally, what is coming your way from external forces, and then looking at your core competencies. What are you really good at? And so you can strengthen those core competencies. And then being humble and doing a periodic assessment of your business, doing a SWOT analysis. That will give you an insight as to what are the things where you have to invest to eliminate those weaknesses or address the weaknesses or the threats. And that gives you that agility. You got to be humble enough to recognize the areas where you need improvement and then invest on that, put time on it, and then test it, do rapid cycle type of changes so you can continue to improve.
And,
Mariana, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, not only that, but a big piece of remaining agile is allowing yourself to learn, like Felix was saying. So having cycles of learning where you see something isn't working quite as you had intended. And so changing the process, using that rapid cycle improvement and seeing if you can achieve a different outcome, but allowing yourself to adjust the process and then giving yourself time to see if it's working. That's really important. You know, we design processes every day that may not be the best. And the reason that we know that is because we go through these cycles.
Right.
Eventually you'll end up in a place where you're having really great results. And that's when you know the process is working. So allow yourself to go through those cycles and really take a closer look and examine everything with an open mind, knowing that it might not be perfect at first, but if you continue to work at it and continue going through those cycles, you'll end up there.
And it's important to mention that during that agility process or then trying to adjust your process, whatever process that is in your organization, you have to determine what is your leading measure. What are you trying to measure? What can you measure rapidly to see if there is an improvement that is taking place? And what is a lagging measure? What type of change you're going to impact down the road? So you must establish a leading measure now that you can keep an eye on, and then a lagging measure.
Yeah, and to use the lingo, you're talking about KPIs, key performance indicators. So it's really important to pick the right indicators, as you say. So, yeah, I love that. So this award, let's get into the details of the award itself. So, Mariana, you said that this award, there are only 2 hospitals in the state of Georgia that received this award. How many different companies received this award? Do you know?
So this year there was a total of 3, I believe. 2 were hospitals and 1 was a business.
So there's only 3 companies in the state of Georgia.
Yes, state of Georgia and Florida.
And Florida.
1 in Georgia and 2 in 1 in Florida and 2 in Georgia.
Wow. Well, see that now the air's even thinner up here. That is terrific. So, a very exclusive award.
That is correct. Actually, in the last 30 years, there are only 92 organizations that have received the award.
Wow. So let's I think we covered this a little bit, but I want to underline it if you don't mind. Why should the patient care? I mean, right? I mean, this is all supposed. I think people take it for granted sometimes, right? Yeah. So why should the patient care about this award?
Well, I guess it gives you the peace of mind as a consumer that you have a hospital that has a high standard of care and is being validated by an external organization and receive an award for outstanding processes and, more importantly, for delivering outstanding results. So as a consumer, when you make a choice, it's an important fact. It's not a story. It is a fact. And you take that in consideration when you make your decision. If you want to bring your family or your loved one to have a procedure, a test, a surgery, you want to make sure you take it to the best place that is out there available. And this place is right here in Roswell, in our backyard.
Right.
And that's Wellstar North Fulton.
That's awesome. Mariana, you want to add to that?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with Felix. It's a way to show our patients as well as staff members and those that are looking for employment that we really value excellence, and we are doing everything we can to ensure that our patients are safe, that our staff members are safe, that we're continuously improving our processes and our environment, and that really you're getting the best care and the best place that you can be, just like Felix mentioned.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned staff and employees because I left them out. Shame on me, because I would think this is really important to a top-notch RN or any sort of caregiver, medical professional, an employee to be at a well-run organization, right?
That is correct. And one of the aspects actually that gets examined is on our workforce. They review our engagement, how we involve learning as part of our culture, and so it's very important for us to dedicate time and effort and resources to our workforce. So for our employees, they are a vital part and component to achieve these results because they are the engine.
Yeah. Wow. Such great work from Felix Soto Izaguirre and Mariana Gattegno. Felix, Mariana, this has been awesome. Congratulations on the superb work that you and your team do. I know there are a lot of folks behind you that you've all of you worked together on this. So congratulations on your success.
All right, thank you very much. We have enjoyed the time. Absolutely.
Before we let you go, if folks want to find out more about Wellstar North Fulton, how can they do that?
They can certainly use the internet and search for Wellstar Health System, and then North Fulton will have a landing page there. Mm-hmm. And if they want to direct contact me or Mariana, they can call the 1-800 number at the North Fulton Hospital.
Terrific. Felix, Mariana, congratulations on your great work. We're delighted to celebrate it, and keep up the great work you're doing.
All right, thank you. Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate the time.
Thanks to both of you. Hey, folks, just a quick reminder. If you are looking for a better place to do corporate team building, and you know what I mean by that, or at least what I mean is someplace where I don't have to worry about my ankle getting broken, go to A&S Culinary Concepts. Yes, a culinary studio. They've got great corporate team building activities that they can put together for your group. Executive Chef Andrew Traub, he's the owner of the business, and he's been doing this for quite a while, and it's a lot of fun. You get to stand around a stainless steel table, cutting up meat, seasoning vegetables, and putting everything together, and then you get to eat what you cooked, and it's a lot of fun. So 678-336-9196 is the phone number to call Andrew, or you can go to asculinaryconcepts.com for more information. And folks, we are coming up on show number 500 for North Fulton Business Radio. We are excited about that milestone, and we'll have a celebratory episode coming up soon. But we've gotten to this point because of your support, and which we really appreciate. But here's what we want from you: keep supporting us by sharing the show with people that you think would benefit from knowing about the great work of business leaders like Felix and Mariana, who do great work, and we want their work to be celebrated and found. So that's what we're here for. So if you can help us celebrate the guests that we have on this show and the work that they do, we'd be grateful. So for my guest, Felix Soto Izaguirre and Mariana Gattegno, I'm John Ray. Join us next time here on North Fulton Business Radio.